Shalom. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA.
That's right.
This is I.S.U.P.K. Fayetteville Sabbath service, okay? So if any brother and sister that's up right now, you know, you about to get thus saith the Lord in Hebrew and in the English.
The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayah. Kodash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakuta. Ala'ah. Rakazayah. Ayah. Aisha. Baratza. Barah. Ayah. Bashamayah. The thunder now. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalak now. Wawafia now. Wasalak now. Kawafia now. Wala'ah. Nabiyaya now. Manasaya 1. Akbar. Mashaya now. Ayah. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Wala'ala. Wala'ala. Amen. In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as it is in heaven. On earth, Salaki, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. From thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Prayer for the power in Hebrew. Yahweh.
Hashem Yahushua. Babakashah. The thunder now. Lakak. Kak. La'para'ah. Hakah Makalah. Makah Wakawak. Lakak. Latahar. Hamatasari. Akak. Wakakida. Amatayam. Akak. Arawak. Ma'amutwala. Lagarashan. Ba'ashem. Yahushua. The water Amah. In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
Psalm 112 Hebrew. I.S.U.P.K.
I'm Yamya.
Ahariam.
Mahayan. Laba'ah. Azaria. Zayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Baratza. Ayathan. Lamawat. Galka. Al Yanawam. Shamarka. Ana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Wayasha. Shawamor. Yasha'al. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazarka. Al-Yah. Yamyaka. Yawam. Lashamash. La'akaka. Arak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Yakurah. Yashamor. Latapashka. Yahweh. Yashamor. Tasa'afka. Abawaka. Wawata. Walayam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is the shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore.
Prayer for the blessings. Rakatha Yahweh.
Rakatha Yahweh.
YAHANNA.
YAHANNA.
Allah.
Allah. Allah. Matazabaya. Allah YAHANNA. Allah Rabasanya. Akakuzanya. Akalayamya. Yahweh. Bashim Yahweh. Water. In the English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai. And Michael. And the angels. Commander General YAHANNA. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it.
Psalm 33 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damanka.
Al-Damahapka.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Tashakwat.
Wa-al-Tashakwat.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Wabyaka.
Wabyaka.
Yahweh Yawan.
Yahweh Yawan.
Yara'ash.
Yara'ash.
Awaka.
Awaka.
Ya'arbawa.
Ya'arba.
Sawadah.
Sawadah.
Wayatha Yahwataza.
Wayatha Warataza.
Al-Tatapamuka.
Al-Tatapamuka.
Amara.
Amara.
Lakawa.
Lakawa. Wakakidam.
Magayawa.
Magayawa.
Wala Yazakar.
Wayada Zadakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Awada.
Dawada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawataza.
Narataza.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakatwa.
Lakatwa.
Al-Yakad.
Ayaka.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakarwatwa.
Yarikwakwa.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Alawam.
Alawam.
Wayashimai.
Wayashimai.
Alahaya.
Wahaya.
Wawaba.
Wayaba.
Wahagori.
Wagari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wamawa.
Waimama.
Wamalak.
Wamalak.
Alashak.
Nashak.
Alishabya.
Ayashapya.
Tazawar.
Tasawar.
Gamashawar.
Tasawar.
Gamashawar.
Gamashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Zarawa.
Zarawa.
Abanyalawat.
Abanyalawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Ashalahan.
Ashalahan.
Madyan.
Batman.
Kasasara.
Kasasara.
Yabyan.
Labia.
Manakal.
Manakal.
Washwan.
The wash one.
The shot one.
The shot one.
Mayanara.
Mayandara.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Dama.
Daman.
Ladama.
La Adama.
Shayatumwa.
Sayatambwa.
Nara.
Nandara.
Yawa.
Yawa.
Kara.
Kara.
Wakazaba.
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 Watazah Mana'a.
Wazaba Barai.
Kana Samuka.
Kana Samuka.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amra.
Ara.
Nairashah.
Nayarasha.
Alawa.
Lawa. Ah.
Naiwa.
Nawa.
Alahaya.
Lahaya.
Alahaya.
Alahayam.
Shayatumwa.
Sayatambwa.
Gagala.
Gagala.
Kwash.
Kakwash.
Kayarka.
Kayarka.
Ka'ash.
Kaash.
Tabi Ira.
Tabi Ira Yaira.
Wakalaba'a.
Watalawa.
Alahat.
Talaat.
Ariam.
Dayan.
Kantar Dabla.
Kata Raptapwa.
Basa Irika.
Basaraka.
Wabasama Patka.
Wabasaba Patka.
Tabahalan.
Tabahalan.
Ta'a.
Dada'a.
Anyaham.
Nanahan.
Palawan.
Nanawan.
Waeku Pashwa.
Walekakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabalawa.
Wayabalawa.
Ayahai.
Tabi'ai.
Wayakapar.
Wayagabawa.
Wayalawa.
Wayagawa.
Wa'adayawa.
Wayadayawa.
Ayahata.
Ayadawa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahweh.
Batka.
Yabaka.
Aliyawan.
Adawan.
Kawakata.
Kawrakza. In the English, keep not thou silence,
See not that silence.
O Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not that peace.
and be not still,
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh.
For lo,
Lo.
thy enemies make a tumult,
He's been a tumult.
and they that hate thee
Hate thee.
have lifted up the head.
Lift the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
Take crafty counsel.
against thy people,
Against thy people.
and consulted
Consult.
against thy hidden
Against
one.
thy hidden one.
They have
They
said,
said,
Come, and let us cut them off
cut them off
from being a nation,
from the nation.
that the name of Yashar'Allah
Name of Yahshua.
may be no more
There
remembered.
is no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together
They consulted
with
against
one consent.
one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
Better against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacle of Edom.
and the Ishmaelites,
And Ishmaelites.
of Moab,
Moab.
and Hagarim,
Hagarim.
Gabal,
Baal.
and Ammon, and Amalek,
Amalek.
the Philistines,
Philistines.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also joined with
They have
them.
hope in the children of
They have
Lot.
hope in the children of
Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeel. Yea, all their princes, and Sabbath, and Zamunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burner for wood, and as a flame setteth the mountain on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So, it shall be seated. Start. Okay, we left off at 18. So last week we left at Genesis chapter 8 verse 9. Today we'll be picking up at Genesis chapter 8 and verse 10.
Check. This is the book of Genesis chapter 8 and verse 10 in the Hebrew. Let me make sure I'm at the right spot, brother. Hold on. Just tell me about the ark and all that stuff real quick.
Sweet. So last week we were talking about the ark, how Noah was commanded, because the Lord said he about to put this place to death, and he built an ark, and so he would build the ark out of gopher wood. It tells you how it happened and the measurements. It tells you I can remember growing up, we was always taught that all the animals went in 2 by 2,
right?
And that was a damn lie. I should have known then as a kid that that the Christian church is full of lies.
Right.
It said 7 of the clean animals and 2 of the unclean. Just simple things, and this is what we went over last week. Okay.
Ready? Come. This is the book of Genesis chapter 8 and verse 10. YAHANNA I.S.U.P.K Sabbath YAHANNA Akarayam YAHSAK Shalak Ath Ayawana Ma'an Atba'a Watba'a Alawa Ayawana La'ith Iraq Wa'ana'a Alaha Sayath Tara'ah Bapara'ah Waida'ai Nakah Kaya Kwalawa Amayam Ma'ala Rataza. It's 12. YAHANNA Arad Shaba'ith Yamayam Akarayam Wayash Laka Ath YAHANNA, 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 SHALAM, YAHWH, IRADA, YAHIYAH, BAKATH, WASHASHA, MAWATH, WANA'a, BARASHAWAN, BAKAD, LAKADASH, KARABAWA, AMAYAM, Ma'aya, Rataza, YSR, Naka, Ath, Makasa'a, Athaba'a, Wayara'a, Wana, it's like it. Karaba'a, it's like Karabawa, Panya, Abdama, 14. 17, going to 17, right? Wabaka Rash, it's like Wabakadash, Ashnaya, Bashaba'i, YSHARYAM, Yawam, Lakadash, Yabasha'a, Rataza, 15. Ydabar, Alahayam, Al, Nakah, La'amor, Taza'a, Man, Athba'a, Atha, Yashathan, Wabanayad, Wanaash, Ashya, Wanayad, Athan, verse 17. Cal, Akaya, Ashar, Athan, Makala, Bashar, Ba'awan, Wabama'a, Wabakal, Aram Shah, Al Rataza, Al Wataza, Athan, Washar Tazawa, Ba'arataza, Wapawan, Raban, Al Rataza. English. Start back up here. 8 and 10. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 8 and verse 10. And he stayed yet over 7 days. And again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. Verse 11. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from the earth. Verse 12. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him anymore. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from the earth, And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. Verse 14. And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. Verse 15. And God and the Most High spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons wives with thee. Verse 17. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth.
So what's heavy about what the Lord just said, right? So it was 7 clean, 7 of every clean animal and 2 of every unclean animal, right? And the Lord, commanded Noah, now that the land is dry, you're supposed to now what? Go and multiply abundantly, right? And then, so if you take into consideration that Noah and his wife and his 3 sons and their wives, guess what? That's how that was humanity right there, right? Along with all those, the cattle and the fowls of the air is how it's breaking it down. And so then what we find in Christianity is what Christianity really likes to do is there'll be a time now that Noah was the chosen person, the person that the Lord chose to deal with. It's gonna come another time with one of his sons, though, right? And his son Shem is the one that he's gonna deal with, and then you'll see the lineage as we further get along in these stories. But it's just at all times Christianity wants you to believe that God loves everybody, when that's just essentially not the case.
Right.
He deals with one people at a time. He deals with the progenitor, and thus he blesses their children. Salakia.
That's right, brother. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 8, and verse 18. Wayatazah, Nakah, Wabanawa, Wayashatwa, Wanashaya, Vanayawan, Cow, Akaya, Cow, Aramash, Waka'al, Haiwan, Cow, Wawamash, Al, Arataza, Lamasha, Pathka, Thayawam, Watazara, Mawan, Atba'a, Wayaban, Nakah, Mazabaka, Layahawa, Wayakwak, Macau, Abama, Ata'ara, Wamakal, A'awan, Ata'ar, Ata'ara, Waya'al, Alath, Bamazabak, Wayarak, Yahweh, Ath, Rayak, Anayaka, Wayamar, Yahweh, Al, Labawan, La'ah, Asat, Laquala, Iwada, Ath, Adama, Ba'abara, Adam, Kaya, Yatazar, Laka, Adam, Ra'ai, Mana'ayara, Wala'a, Isa'an, Awada, La'akayath, Ath, Kal, Kaya, Kashar, Ashayath, Aid, Kal, Maya, Rataza, Zarawa, Zarai, Wakwazayara, Wakwa'ar, Wakam, Wakwataza, Wakwapa, Wayawam, Walayala'a, La'a, Yashabath. Let's rest. Let me see. The book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 1. Wayabaran, Alahayim, Ath, Nakah, Wayaath, Banayan, Wayamar, La'am, Parwa, Rabawa, Wamala al Ath, Arataza, verse 2. Wawakam, Wakathakam, Yahya, Al, Kal, Kayath, Arataza, Wa'al, Kal, Iwan, Ashmayam, Bakal, Ashar, Tharamash, Adama, Wabakal, Dagayath, Ayam, Bayadathkam, Nathanawa. In English, the book of Genesis, chapter 8 and verse 8, verse 18. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kinds went forth out the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. 21. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done.
So this is something that brothers and sisters ain't, little things like this we gloss over. But Noah was obedient. That was the reason why the Lord preserved him and his children. Right. So after the flood was over, the first thing he did was what? Build an altar unto the Lord thy God, and put and you know, made sacrifices of animals, right? Because guess what? He could have took them and been like everybody else,
Right.
every selfish, you know what, and ate those animals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He made an offering unto the Lord, you know, to signify that he knew who preserved him, right? And then for this act, the Lord saw that what men are evil. Most men are evil from their youth. However, this one right here does what he's supposed to do.
That's right.
So guess what? Just because of this one individual, I'm not gonna put the whole earth to death again.
Right.
Right. I get a taste of what an obedient child looks like.
That's right.
Salakia.
That's right, brother. Verse 22. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. The book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 1. And the Most High blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. Verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered.
So this is letting everybody know the reason why most animals, when they see you, they run. Right? He's signifying that you know, they dread us.
Right.
Right? They dread a human being. Is because the Lord said so. You know what I'm saying? You want to get that deer, you got to go out there and you got to be cunning.
Right.
You got to be smart to get him. You understand? You have to trap that animal because the Lord said so. So lock it.
That's right, brother. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 3. Cow, Ramash, Ashar, Awa'ah, Kaya, Lakam, Yahaya, La Kala, Kayarak, Ashba, Natha, Thaya, Lakam, Ath, Cow, Ad, Bashar, Banapashawa, Damawa, La'ah, Dalakawa, Wa'ad, Ath, Damakam, Lana Pashat, Lana Pashath, Yakam, Lana Pashat Yakam, Adarash, Mayada, Cow, Kaya'ah, Adarash Nawa, Wamayad, Adam, Mayada, Ayash, Akawan, Adarash, Ath, Napash, Adama, Mapushan, Dama, Adam, Ba'adam, Damawa, Washapan, Kaya, Batasalam, Alahayim, Asha'ah, Ath, Athama, Wa'atham, Parawa, Rabawa, Rabatazawa, Ba'arataza, Rabawa, Ba'a, Wayamor, Alahayim, Al, Nakah, Wa'al, Banayawa, Athwa, Lamar, Wa'anaya, Ananaya, Makoyam, Ath, Barayath, Bayathya, Athkama, Wa'ath, Zorakam, Akarayakam. Starting in verse 2, was it verse 3? The book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with life thereof, which is the blood thereof, ye shall not eat.
So this is separates the heathen from the brothers, and the brothers who the Lord deal with. Because if you think real hard, think about them bone eating Africans. They will kill an animal and blow into his mouth so that the blood doesn't leave his body and it stays in his belly. And then they collect it, and then they make like blood sausage, or they make this little thing in a pot, right? And just think about every heathen that you could think of. They always eat the blood. However, we all know that we don't even want to eat a steak if it looked too bloody, right? But in actuality, that's not blood. However, but my point I'm making is the heathen love to eat the blood, right? We always let it drain to the earth. That's what the Lord said. It's right here, right? Keep going.
Kalamakam, verse 4. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, ye shall not eat. Verse 5. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of the Most High made he man. Verse 7. And you, be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein.
So Salakia, I had to go back up one verse, and it says Salakia. And surely your blood of your lives will I require it. Will I require? So what is he saying? He requires death, right?
That's right.
Same way like the animal dies, you gonna go into the earth, right? And it says, at the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of a man. Right? That's how it goes, right? We think that how Christians make us believe how life works is, you go die and go to heaven and you'll never return to this place again.
Right.
And it's all foolishness, right? You go come again, but it's dependent on how you live your life now, right? The Lord requires that you live a certain kind of way while you're here. You could choose to be in Christianity and be a filthy bastard, and then watch your children die by the hands of by your brothers. Or you could be in a holy place, right? A place that heathens aren't allowed.
Right.
Right? Like the I.S.U.P.K.
That's right.
And live the way the Lord wants you to live. And guess what? Somebody does something to your children, the Lord is gonna be with you.
Right.
You understand? You ain't gotta look for Esau for help. The Lord will be with you on your side. You understand?
Right.
So Lucky, I just had to
you two out. We got one more verse, is it? It's verse 8. And the Most High spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, we'll stop there at 9. Oh, read 9. Okay. And I beheld, I established my covenant with you and with your seed after you. All right, verse 10. I didn't. Okay, yep. Book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 10. Wa'ath, Cal, Napash, Akaya, Ashar, Athakam, Ba'awan, Babama, Wabaka, Kayath, A'arataza, Athakam, Makal, Yatazaya, Athka'a, Lakala, Kayath, Arataza, Wakomathia, Ath, Barayathia, Athkama, Wala'a, Yakarath, Kal, Bashar, Irad, Mamaya, Amabaya, Wala'a, Yahaya'a, Awada, Mabawal, Lashakath, Rataza, Wa'amar, Alahayim, Za'ath, Awath, Abarayath, Ashar, Anayah, Nathan, Banayana, Bayanaya, Wabanayakam, Wakabayan, Kal, Napash, Kaya'a, Ashar, Athkam, Ladarath, Abalayam, Ath, Washathia, Nathaya, Ba'anoah, Wayatha, Laawath, Barayath, Banayaya, Wabayan, Warataza, Wa'aya'ah, Ba'ananaya, Anawan, Rataza, Wana Rash, Slakia, Wana Athya, Akushath, Ba'anawan, Wataza Karathia, Ath, Barayathia, Ashar, Bayakaya, Bayakayayam, Wabayan, Kal, Napash, Kaya'a, Wakal, Bashar, Wala'a, Yahaya'a, Awad, Amayam, Lamabayal, Lashakath, Kal, Bashar. 16. We'll go back up to verse, what was it, 9? The book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 9. And I behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you. Verse 10. And with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark, to every beast of the earth. It's 11. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall any flesh be cut off any more by the waters of the flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. Verse 12. And the Most High said, this is a token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. Verse 13. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a token of a covenant between me and the earth.
Good night. What's heavy about this is a twofold thing right here, that we have a people that are the most perverse, and the demon that's on them is such a bully demon that they took this symbol, the bow that the Lord put as a covenant between every man and every beast, that we shall not die by flood no more, right? And they took it as a symbol and said it's gay pride.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying? When you should really be, you should really look at that bow and think about this. I'm gonna give you an example what you should think about when you see a bow in the sky. That the Lord had to put a reminder in the air that He ain't supposed to put us to death a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And that's how insignificant you are, right? Not to take it and make a perversion out of it. Not to take that symbol of a rainbow, right, and take it and make it something perverse that, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, if you ain't in that lifestyle, you want to stay clear of the bow.
That's right.
However, that was a thing between all men and the Most High Power.
That's right.
Right, and it's a people out here that took that symbol. You can't even fly that thing without somebody double taking at you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't even wear it without brothers, looking at you crazy. But it's actually a symbol between the Most High and every man and every beast, right? That He ain't gonna put us to death.
That's right. The book of Genesis chapter 9, I'll read 13 again, verse 13. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a token of a covenant between me and the earth. Verse 14. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the cloud.
So what? When most time you see the rainbow is what? When it's about to get a little rain and the sun peek through them clouds. All right, that's the symbol. It ain't supposed to be. Nobody should have took that symbol and made a perversion out of it.
Right.
But guess what? We have the most wicked, perverse people over top of us. Salakia.
That's right, brother. Verse 15. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. Verse 16. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between the Most High and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth.
So just think about it. Just you ever heard somebody say, if you always forget something,
Yeah, you
tie a
tired.
string around your finger? This is what the Lord did. This is how insignificant we are as people.
Right.
And He had to put a reminder in the air not to put us to death when He get angry. He look at the air, he look at the rainbow like, oh yeah, I remember. I wasn't supposed to do that. I made a promise I will put him to death. See, you are forgetting your damn your contacts at your goddamn job. So you tie a string around your finger. The Lord had to put something in the air to remember not to put us to death.
Good night.
Salaki.
Evil, ain't it? Good night. Well, we cutting up, man. We in verse 17. All right. Wa'amar, Alahayim, Al, Nakah, Za'ath, Awath, Abarayath, Ashar, Aquamathayah, Bayanayah, Wabayan, Cal, Bashar, Ashar, Aratazah, Wayan, Banayah, Nakah, Ayatazah, Ayam, Man, Atba'ah, Shema, Wakama, Wayapath, Wakama, Awa'ah, Abia, Kana'ain. Shalakia. Shalasha. Alaha. Banaya. Banya. Naka. Wama'alaha. Napataza. Kal. Arataza. Wayakal. Naka. Ayash. Adama. Wayata'ai. Karam. Wayashath. Man. Ayayana. Wayashkar. Wayaskala. Bathwan. Ala'ah. 23. Wayra'ah. Kam. Abaya. Kana'ain. Ath. Arwath. Abayan. Wayagar. Lashanaya. Akayan. Barakataza. Wayakwak. Shema. Wayapath. Ath. Ashamala'ah. Wayash Yam, it's like Wayashaman, Al, Shakam, Wana, it's like it, Shanayam, Wayalakam, Akwanayath, Wayakasan, Ath, Arawath, Abayam, Wapanayam, Akaranayath, Rayakawath, it's like it, Rawath, Abayam, La'ah, Rawan. The book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 17. And the Most High said unto Noah, This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. Verse 18. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan.
Father of Canaan. Ham is the father of the so-called African.
That's right.
Okay. I know they like to try to lump us up in there with them, but guess what? We're Shem. We're descendants of Shem, right? At this time, there was no so-called oppressor, or one that you would deem to be an oppressor, right? They came later. You understand? And the thing that's heavy is, all people outside of having any interaction with Esau is a dark race of people.
That's right.
But however, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian will say that a dirty, filthy Hamite that don't even have the same spirit you have, he want to separate himself from you. You'll call him brother. But guess what? You'll look at that East Indian when you go in that damn 7-Eleven or that damn that dang on Dunkin' Donuts, right, and you'll know for a fact that ain't your brother.
Right.
See, but the Lord already said right here that the Hamites is the father of the Canaanites.
Right.
And then all you got to do is fast forward a little bit to history. What the Lord do when we came out of the land of Egypt? We took the land of Canaan.
That's right.
Right? We wouldn't have took the land from our own brothers, would we? It's a whole nother people. Salakia.
That's right, brother. Verse 19. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth spread, was the whole earth overspread. Verse 20. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. Verse 21. And he drank the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. Verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. Verse 23. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered their nakedness of the father and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness.
So, okay, now we always take things like for example, you'll say the white man wrote this book because, you know, basically, but this book has law, statutes, and commandments. This sound like to me that it was law, statutes, and commandments being kept here, because it was only one of them that looked upon their father's nakedness, which you can't do in the Bible.
Right.
You ain't supposed to look at the nakedness of your father. But however, it was two sons that understood this. They understood the law, and they draped the damn blanket on one shoulder, and they walked backwards so they ain't look at their father.
Right.
But however, it was one little evil bastard that didn't adhere to the law. You understand me? And guess what? He was the father of the Hamites.
That's right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 23. It's like 24. YAHANNA Naka YAHANNA YADAI Ath Ashar Aisha'a Lawa Banaya Aquanan Amar Arawa Kana'ain Abar Ibada Abadayam Yahya Lakayan Amar Barawan it's like Yahweh. It's like Yahweh, Alahaya, Sham, Yahaya, Kana'ain, Ibad, Lamawan, Yapath, Alahayam, Layapath, Wayashkan, Baalaya, Shema, Wayaya, Kanain, Ibad, Lamawa, Wayakaya, Naka, Akara, Amabawa, Shalasha, Ma'awath, Shana'a, Wakamashiam, Shana'a, Wayawan, Kal, Yamayan, Naka, the Shai, Ma'awath, Shana'a, Wakamashim, Shana'a, Wayamath. Verse 1. Wa'ala. The Waladath. Banayah, Nakah, Shema, Kam, Wayapath, Wayawalada, La'am, Banayam, Akar, Amabawan. Verse 2, stop it. Yeah. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 24, chapter 9, verse 24. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren.
So if you can ever understand how a so-called Hamite will have all the diamonds, all the gold, all on his continent, and he has constant turmoil in his place, right? Because his proper place is what? Be a servant.
That's right.
You understand? They don't have the idea of being a superpower when they pretty much could.
Mm-hmm.
Right? America got all those resources. China got all those resources. Russia has those resources, the same resources that so-called the land mass of Africa has. But guess what? They still killing each other with machetes in Rwanda.
Right.
You understand? Because they not fit to be anything but some servants. Then I ask you, when you go to your job, you hate being a servant.
Right.
I ask you, what do you believe about yourself? And I bet you 9 times out of 10, a brother or sister say he know he ain't supposed to be doing this. The only people on the face of the earth that should be serving is the other nations, right? And more so because of this Hamite right here, because of what he did to his father. He cursed that whole entire family, right? That they shall be servants under to everybody. So think real heavy, think real hard about if that's who we belong to. If those are our brothers, I think not.
Right.
Salakia.
That's right, man. That's right, brother. Verse 26. And he said, Blessed be the Most High power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
Shem, that's who we derive from,
That's
right?
right.
Guess what? Canaan's supposed to be our servant.
That's right. Chop, chop.
Yeah, get to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's real heavy. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to unfold the onion a little bit, because guess what? The Caucasian man is from Shem.
That's right.
That's why when Ham come over here, he act like the Caucasian man does no wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He does no wrong
because
he's a servant. He don't believe that he could do anything on a continent where he got all those resources without the so-called oppressor's help. Salakia.
That's right. Verse 27. The Most High shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. 28. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Verse, what was the verse? That was chapter 8, right? No, Slack. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were the sons born after the flood. All right. Book of Genesis, chapter 10 and verse 2. Banayah, Yapath, Gamar, Wamagawaga, Slaki, Mawa, Slaki, Wamaga, Mamagawaga, Wamadaya, Wayanan, Wathbal, Wamashad, Wath Yarai. 23. Wabanaya. Gama'ar. Ashkan Kanataza. Blakia. Ashkan Naza. Warayagath. Watagarama. Wabanaya. Yawan. Alayasha. Watarathiyasha. Kathyam. Wadanayam. Ma'ala. Wataslaki. Naparada Wan. Ayah. Agawayam. Baratazathium. Ayash. Lalashiyanan. Lamash Pakatha. Lamash Pakatham. Bagayawam. Wabanaya. Kama. Kawash. Wamatazarium. Mapawat. Wakana'ain. Verse 7. We're going all the way down to 8. Okay. Wapanaya. Kawash. Sabah. Wakalayawa. La'a. Masabath. Waramar. Wasabath Ka'a. Wabanaya. Waramar. Shabbat. Shabba'a. Wadadan. Verse 8. Read to 8. Wakawash. Walad. Ath. Namarad. Ara'ah. Akal. Lahayawath. Gaba'ar. Ba'arataza. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10 and verse 1. Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. Verse 2. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tyrus. Verse 3. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz,
There goes a familiar name.
and Rapath, and Togarma. Verse 4. And the sons of Javan, Elisha'ah, and Tarshish, Katim, and Dodanim. Verse 5. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families in their nations. Verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. Verse 7. And the sons of Cush, Sabah, and Havilah, and Sabbath, and Ramah, and Sabbatica, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. Verse 8. And Cush begat Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one in the earth.
So just we about to sum this all up. They ran down the whole lineage of Ham, right? Ran it all the way down. And they making a point to explain something to you about this heathen right here that was born from Cush. His name was Nimrod, and it said he was a mighty man in the earth. So it's something about him. It's something about him that surpassed all the other so-called children of Ham.
That's right.
Okay, and this is our last one, right?
That's it.
Okay, so
Lord
willing, next week we'll get into Nimrod and the long what I want to say, running theme of Nimrod that goes on in the earth right now. Okay,
Right. And with that, just up here, so Maja. Well, Men of Israel, gird thyselves and prepare to salute the Torah.
Yahweh Yahweh Barak Yah. Yahweh Yahweh Barak Yah. Yahweh Yahweh Barak Yah.
we about to now say the Lord's prayers.
Upon Akodah, we turn face east. We do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Bashamai, Wadash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh,
In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Pray for the power. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem Yahweh,
the thunder now, the cup, in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah,
Shah,
please give us the power,
please give us
the
power,
power to heal
power to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
power to cleanse the
the
leper,
power to raise the dead,
power to raise the
the
dead,
power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out
cast them out
in the name
in the name
of Yahweh Shah.
of Shah.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Psalm 121. I.S.U.P.K.
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 Mayan,
Yahawah,
Azari, La'ai,
Yahawah,
I.S.U.P.K. Sharyam, Barakazah, Ayatan, Nawat, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Anak, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Ayashan, Naramah, Yasha'ala, Yahawah, Shamar, Yahawah, Ayah, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Yashamash, Layakah, Layarah, Yahawah, Shamar, Nakarah, Ashamar, Yahawah, Yashamar, Taza'ah, in the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'ala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore.
Prayer for the blessing. Rakatha Yahawah.
Rakatha Yahawah.
Yahweh Shah.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. The Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damalakah.
Al-Damalakah.
Al-Dakarash.
Al-Dakarash. Al-Dakashwat.
Al-Yahanna.
Al-Yahanna.
Al-Wabika.
Al-Wabika.
Yahannawan.
Yahannawan.
Al-Amakah.
Al-Lakah.
Al-Yamwa.
Al-Yamwa. Sawadah. Wayatha.
Ya'atazawah.
Al-Tazawah.
Al-Tazapamukah. Amarah.
Amarah.
Hakidim.
Hakidim.
Magawaya.
Al-Yamwa.
Allah Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Watazah.
Watazah.
Labah.
Labah.
Yakarawa.
Yakarawa.
Ayakah.
Ayakah.
Ariyah.
Ariyah.
Yakaratwa.
Yakaratwa.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Alawam.
Alawam.
Wa Yashemai.
Yashemai.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Wa Abba.
Abba.
Wa Agaria.
Agaria.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa Amah.
Amah.
Wa Amalak.
Amalak.
Shah.
Yashah.
I'm Yeshabia.
Yeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Yasha'al.
Ala
Ala.
Amam.
Amam.
Hayamwa.
Hayamwa.
Zarwad.
Zarwad.
Wayanawat.
Wayanawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aishalaham.
Aishalaham. Obadiah.
Kasasa Yarab.
Kasasa Yarab.
Abadiah.
Abadiah.
Wachwan.
Yashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ayandara.
Ayandara.
Ayawah.
Amam. Adamah.
Shayatambwa.
Shayatambwa.
Darayama.
Yahweh.
Karabah.
Karabah.
Wakazabah.
Wakazabah. Zabah.
Wakazazakal.
Wakazazakal.
Wana'ai.
Wana'ai.
Hayanan Samuka.
Hayanan Samuka.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarah.
Amarah.
Nairashah.
Nairashah.
Lanawa.
Yanawa.
Layawa.
Laiwa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatambwa.
Shayatambwa.
Gavila.
The Gavila.
Quash.
The Quash.
Hayawakah.
Hayabukwa.
Ash.
Yash.
Your Ira, Ira.
Your Ira, your Ira.
Abba.
Alahat.
Alahat. Mario.
Mario.
Kantar Batman. Basa Ira.
Basa Ira.
Abasa.
Abasa.
Paska.
Paska.
Abahalam.
Abahalam.
Bala'a.
Yahan.
Balawan.
Alawan.
Ayabashua.
Ayabashua.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashua.
Yabashua.
Ayabalawa.
Ayabalawa.
Ayabalawa. Ayabalawa.
Ayabalawa.
Ayabalawa.
Ayabalawa.
Ayadayawa.
Ayadayawa.
Ayatha.
Ayadayawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Batka. Ayawan.
Ayawan.
Alparatasa.
In the English, keep not thou silence,
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still,
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
Lo.
thine enemies, Salaki, thine enemies
Thine enemies
make a tumult,
make a tumult.
and they that hate thee
And they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the head.
lift up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
Take crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
Come.
and let us cut them off
Let's cut them
from
off.
being a nation,
From being a nation.
that the name of Yasha Allah
The name of Yahshua
may be no more in
may
remembrance.
be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee,
have confederate against
the
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacle of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Israelites,
and Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Baal,
and Ammon,
and
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also enjoyed
They have hope in the children of
They have
light.
hope in the children of light.
Salah,
Salah.
do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a rail, and like Zael. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble for the wind, as the fire burning for wood, and as a flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So,
For the Israel, we'll give one person to the teacher. The Israel, Mani Shabbat, Mani, Rock, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah,
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yalamatah, class dismissed. Last speaker.